Hey, I watched Rckby, a 1932 pre-code Hollywood drama starring Constance Bennett and Joel McCrea. This is yet another team up for the two, and I can see why that they've paired Constance Bennett with Joel McCrea. She often plays kind of the wild girl, um, and he is the kind of the solid, super handsome, kind of hunk of wood that often gets kind of judgy and is hard on her, but in the end realizes most of the time that she is, you know, an amazing woman. This is definitely hitting some pretty good things here. Constance plays Judy Carroll, a stage actress who is has a wild life, gets sucked into a trial, and it having testifying at a trial, and ends up in the papers, which fucks up her at the very beginning of this picture, her adoption of a little girl, and she comes home from testifying. It's in all the papers, and mean motherfuckers from the orphanage and from child services are there, and they take the child away from her. They apparently hadn't actually finalized everything. It was still kind of iffy when they actually let her have the child and them to form emotional bonds. And we have this child wailing, this child actor wailing, and it's just like, oh my god, it is it is a fucking gut punch right there at the beginning of the picture, which actually is going to lead to kind of the surprise ending. At least surprise for me. I went, wow, holy cow, at the end of this picture. Um, you know, Joel McCrea, because she ends up going to Europe to kind of get over it. Comes back, and oh, there's this play, and it's a play where she's going to play kind of a down in the gutter kind of hard bitten woman, and it's almost like kind of a nod to Constance Bennett herself, because her manager, who is in love with her, of course, says like, no, you're not going to do this rockabye picture, which we'll find is going to be has been written by Joel McCrea's character Pell Vander Con something whatever Joseph. We'll just go with Joseph Pell, and says no, because I've made build you up as someone who makes light, sophisticated things, but nothing too deep. And it's kind of what you could say about Constance Bennett. She's known for doing kind of light, frothy comedies, and I mean, she's always got this great energy. And there's a couple of scenes of her just like, in a bar with a bunch of men singing, and it's just like, she's just like totally charms you. But this actually does come down to stuff where, in the end, he's like, and this is pre-code, so Joel McCrea's character is in the process of getting divorced, and when they meet, so they know that, and it's like, it's just open, it's divorce, whatever. I'm still married, but I'm getting a divorce, so they're having an affair. They're going to get married. They're they're getting. Come on, Theo. Come on. Let's go. Um, they're they're it's all looking great. They have the opening day, and suddenly Joel McCrea does not show up, and it's like, where the hell is he? He's not showing up for the thing, and she's pissed about this. And his mother shows up, that we have never seen before. His mother shows up and tells him that his his what was supposed to be his soon to be ex-wife, didn't tell him, but she's pregnant. She was pregnant, and she just gave birth to Joel McCrea's character's son. And boy, Constance Bennett has this thing where it's just like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Who cares if he's got a son? It's us that's important. I don't care about some little kid. And mother's like, look, you know, he'll hate you if he's cut off from this, cut off from his son. It's not the kind of thing where you're gonna get visitation rights, I guess, or anything like that. And so, And I guess she, in the end, she realizes this. She gets her business manager, who in love with her, to propose to her. And Joel McCrea's like, "What the fuck? Why are you doing this?" Manages to pull her off after she's kind of acting very kind of like kind of I'm so happy kind of in a complete way, in a I'm dying inside sort of way. And they have this kind of scene at the end where it's just like, no, you do have to go and be this boy's son. And it it totally hits back to this little girl that she was wrenched away with, and that throughout the film she actually gets little visitation rights from the her new parents, that she's not going to be this little girl's mother, but it's always there inside her, and she knows that's what's going to happen with Joel McCrea. She doesn't want him to have that, so it's like, no, no, we're not, we can't. You have to go and have your life with, I think it's Edna, some horrible. You're the other woman name. We never see her, or this little baby boy. And yeah, the business manager comes in, and that's the end of it. They don't get together in the end, and I was like, holy crap! This is like, even if it's pre-code, that's just like a shocker that they don't get together at the end, and it's like, this was, I've enjoyed the other Constant Bennett movies I've seen, but this is the first one that was like, oh, that actually had a little bit of a punch to it. I enjoyed that, and I cared about the characters. Still, Constant Bennett is just your iconic, kind of flappers, roaring 20s kind of person. Even though this is early 30s, you still get that sense of, like, she's wearing these amazing mink stoles that like are like just perfectly frame her head, like are super thick, like it's like an inner tube thick of fur around her, with, like, the kind of the jaunty little Peter Pan hats. It's just like, wow. And the shimmering gowns that just look amazing in the lights of that these films were filmed in. Joel McCrea is, yes, he's just super handsome. Is a little there is a scene, is it in this one or in the last one, where they're in the yeah, in this one, where they're in the kitchen, and he starts pushing her, and she slaps him. And okay, it's probably all wrong, bad dynamics, but it's also super fucking hot. It's just like, so this is like pre-code. Wow, this is super sexy, in probably all the wrong sort of ways, but it still is. It's like, wow. So I'm really glad that I decided, I just, by chance, it's like, look, they have a whole ton of movies by this actress. Maybe she's someone it would be worth looking at. And I don't think I've even gotten to the high point of her career yet, which is What Price Hollywood. So I've still got like 4 or 5 films to get through till I get to that point. So yeah, really enjoying this. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.